In the first of its kind Dentist to Patient podcast, you'll gain incredibly valuable insight into the mouth-body connection. You won't hear fluffy filler here. You'll actually be able to connect the dots. Join us for a worthy jolt of insight on the Total Health Dentistry podcast with Dr. Ali.
Hey everyone, it's Dr. Ali. In this episode, you'll gain a worthy jolt of insight about Total Health Dentistry. Don't know what that is? You're not alone. We've all heard everything in your body is connected to everything else in your body. So your teeth and gum health is connected to your brain and heart health. Of course, it's true, but that's too vague. I want to uncover the details and fill in all the blanks. I'd like to share with you how the idea of this podcast came about. On a daily basis, I was having these amazing conversations with my patients, talking about everything from teeth to toes. And I thought to myself, I'm sure thousands upon thousands of other people have the same questions and would love to be a fly on the wall and listen in. So the idea of the Total Health Dentistry podcast came about. I'm Dr.Ali Farahani, a practicing dentist who has always wondered why something happens and what is the root cause of the issue. In 2006, I defined eco-friendly dentistry for the first time in dentistry, and in 2019, I've authored the definition of total health dentistry. I define total health dentistry as understanding and treating what is going on in the body that may be making your dental health suffer, and at the same time, understanding and treating what is going on in the mouth that may be making your body health suffer. Sounds complicated, and it can be, so I've broken it down into the 3 pillars of total health dentistry. What are the 3 pillars of total health dentistry? Well, it's airway, nutrition, and structure, ANS. In the many episodes to come, we will continue to come back and re-examine these 3 pillars as a means of safeguarding one's health. Let's start with the first one, airway. If there's one coming tsunami of health awareness, it is about optimizing our airway. While it doesn't take Sherlock Holmes to figure out oxygen is critical to survival, until now, we have just not appreciated just how vital optimal air is. As a listener to the Total Health Dentistry podcast, I'm sure you'll become an airway advocate by the end of all of this. Second pillar is nutrition. How could something so basic be so confusing? Well, in addition to demystifying the various schools of thought in nutrition, you will gain a worthy jolt of insight for you and your loved ones about how and why nutrition can be what I call the ace of spades in the poker hand of the dicey environment we live in. Third is structure. And by far, this is the black swan of the group, meaning very few people see structure as something to even entertain or discuss in terms of a total health context. So structure as an integral part of total health dentistry gets very little love and very little airplay, even among wellness-minded dentists. So for that reason, it's probably my favorite of the 3 pillars. And I say ignore it at your own peril. So in future podcasts, and this is the introduction to the Total Health Dentistry podcast, in future podcasts, you're going to see some of the following or hear some of the following podcasts discussed. Topics such as, do you know what is the master nutrient? Going into pregnancy with stocked shelves. Everything you ever wanted to know about the tongue but were afraid to ask. Sensitive teeth, treating the underlying causes, not just masking the symptoms. That's a big one. Tooth regeneration or fixing cavities with diet alone. It's also a very popular one. Oral probiotics, do they work? So that's just a sneak peek at some of the podcast episodes, some of the issues that we'll be discussing, which are not your typical dental issues that you've probably ran into in various other media. So the time is now. The dental and overall health of yourself and your loved ones is too critical. Subscribe and join us for a worthy jolt of insight at the Total Health Dentistry podcast. Thanks everyone for joining us in this inaugural episode of the Total Health Dentistry podcast. I simply wanted to introduce you to the 3 pillars of total health dentistry as I see it. I promise you, you're in for some delectable material and incredible value in the many future episodes to come. Thanks for joining us, and subscribe not to miss out on any of these.
Please note that Dr.Ali Farahani is a general dentist and that total health dentistry is not a specialty of dentistry. While we make every effort to broadcast correct information, dentistry is a constantly changing science and art. One doctor may have a different way of doing things from another. Dr.Ali Farahani is simply presenting his views and opinions that will be as evidence-based as possible. We welcome any comments, suggestions, or corrections of error. Dr.Ali Farahani takes no money from drug or device companies. By listening to this podcast or reading this blog, you agree not to use this podcast or blog as medical advice to treat any medical condition in either yourself or others, including but not limited to patients that you are treating. Consult your own physician for any medical issues that you may be having. This entire disclaimer also applies to any guests or contributors to the podcast or blog. Under no circumstances shall Sante Family Dental, Dr.A. Farahani Dentistry Professional Corporation, or Dr. Ali Farahani, or any of their employees, associates, or affiliates, any of the guests or contributors to the podcast or blog, be responsible for damages arising from use of this podcast or blog.